The twin flame journey is unlike any other spiritual experience. It is a path of deep transformation, intense love, and profound self discovery. At its core, this connection is not about romance alone. It is about awakening to a higher version of yourself, one that is aligned with your soul's true purpose. Yet, despite the undeniable power of the twin flame experience, not everyone's awakening unfolds in the same way. For some, spiritual awakening on the twin flame path is euphoric. It feels like an explosion of love and bliss, a sudden opening of the heart that floods their being with divine energy. They experience heightened intuition, deep inner knowing, and an overwhelming sense of unity with the universe. For others, however, the awakening is anything but euphoric. Instead, it can feel like being thrown into chaos, like an unraveling of everything they once believed about themselves and the world. Why is it that some experience ecstasy while others face deep turmoil? What determines whether a twin flame awakening will feel blissful or agonizing? The answer lies in many factors: spiritual readiness, emotional wounds, resistance, and the soul's unique path. Understanding these elements can bring clarity to those who struggle, helping them find peace in their journey, no matter how it unfolds. One of the biggest reasons why twin flame awakening feels euphoric for some and painful for others is spiritual readiness. When a person is mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared, the journey unfolds with more ease and understanding. However, when someone is unprepared, the awakening can feel overwhelming, bringing confusion, fear, or resistance. Spiritual readiness is not measured by age, intellectual knowledge, or how much someone has studied spiritual teachings. It is about how open the heart and mind are to transformation. A person who has already done significant inner work, such as releasing past fears, healing emotional wounds, and embracing change, is more likely to experience their awakening as an expansion rather than a disruption. When they meet their twin flame, they recognize the connection for what it is, a divine gift that leads to deeper love, self-discovery, and spiritual evolution. They do not resist the intensity of the experience, allowing it to unfold naturally. This often results in moments of deep connection, clarity, and inner peace, as they align with the higher purpose of the journey. On the other hand, if someone carries unhealed traumas, unresolved emotional wounds, or rigid belief systems that prevent them from fully embracing their spiritual nature, the awakening can feel harsh and unsettling. Instead of feeling like a beautiful expansion, it feels like everything in their life is being turned upside down. They may struggle with the overwhelming emotions, feeling as if they are losing control of themselves and their reality. The connection, rather than bringing immediate bliss, acts as a trigger for their deepest fears and insecurities, forcing them to confront parts of themselves they may have spent years avoiding. The key to making the awakening process more bearable is surrender. Awakening is not something that can be controlled or forced. It happens in divine timing and in the way that serves the soul best. The more one allows themselves to trust the process and let go of the need for certainty, the more they can flow with the transformation rather than fight against it. It is not about reaching a state of perfection before the awakening begins, but rather about being willing to embrace the unknown with faith. When the heart is open and the mind is willing to evolve, the journey becomes less about suffering and more about self-discovery. The twin flame connection brings everything to the surface, especially the emotions and wounds that have been buried deep within. It acts as a mirror, reflecting back all the unhealed parts of the self that need attention. Those who experience euphoria in their awakening are often those who have already worked through many of their inner struggles. They have faced their fears, healed from past heartbreaks, and cultivated a sense of inner balance. Because of this, when the awakening begins, it feels like a natural step toward enlightenment rather than a painful confrontation with past wounds. However, for those carrying deep emotional wounds, the twin flame connection will bring them up with full force. The pain of abandonment, rejection, unworthiness, or betrayal that has been suppressed for years suddenly resurfaces, demanding to be healed. This is why, for some, the awakening feels like a breakdown rather than a breakthrough. It is not that the twin flame connection is causing suffering. It is simply revealing what has already been there, hidden beneath the surface. Many people spend years, even lifetimes, avoiding their emotional pain. They distract themselves with work, relationships, or external validation, hoping to escape the feelings of unworthiness or heartbreak that linger in their subconscious. But a twin flame connection makes it impossible to ignore these wounds any longer. The intensity of the bond forces everything into the light, making healing unavoidable. This is why, for some, the awakening feels more like a crisis than a spiritual experience. It shakes the very foundation of their identity, bringing to the surface emotions they may not have even realized they were holding on to. Healing is not about avoiding pain, but rather moving through it with awareness. Instead of resisting the emotions that arise, embracing them with compassion can make all the difference. When someone allows themselves to feel their pain fully, without judgment or suppression, they create space for healing to occur. The emotions lose their grip over time, and the heavy energy begins to dissolve. Instead of feeling trapped in suffering, they start to see the twin flame connection for what it truly is, an opportunity for growth, love, and deeper self-awareness. Letting go of emotional baggage is not an overnight process, but every step toward healing makes the awakening smoother. It may take time, but the journey becomes easier when one chooses to face their wounds with courage instead of avoiding them. By acknowledging and processing past traumas, the soul becomes lighter, allowing the twin flame connection to be experienced with greater joy and clarity. Another reason why twin flame awakening is euphoric for some and painful for others is resistance to change. A twin flame journey is not just about love, it is about transformation. It requires letting go of old identities, outdated beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve the soul's growth. The more willing a person is to embrace change, the smoother their awakening will be. However, if someone clings tightly to their old self, their past, or their comfort zone, the awakening can feel like an internal battle. Those who have already been on a path of self-discovery and personal evolution tend to experience more joy in their awakening. They have already learned the art of surrender and adaptation, making them more open to the changes that the twin flame journey brings. They understand that growth often requires discomfort, so they do not resist when their old ways of thinking and being begin to dissolve. Because of this, they are able to flow with the awakening rather than struggle against it. On the other hand, those who fear change or hold on to rigid expectations of how life should be may experience awakening as a crisis. The ego, which thrives on control and familiarity, resists anything that threatens its sense of stability. A twin flame awakening forces an individual to step into the unknown, which can be deeply unsettling for those who have built their identity around external validation, societal expectations, or personal attachments. When the ego fights back, it creates suffering, making the journey feel overwhelming and chaotic. This resistance can manifest in different ways. Some may deny their twin flame connection altogether, dismissing it as an illusion or coincidence. Others may try to control the outcome, forcing the relationship to fit into their preconceived notions of love. Some may even run from the connection, fearing the intensity of the emotions it brings up. But no matter how resistance appears, it always leads to more inner turmoil. The more one tries to hold on to the old, the more painful the transition becomes. The key to moving through this phase is embracing change with an open heart. Instead of fighting against the shifts that are occurring, allowing them to unfold naturally brings more peace into the journey. Letting go of rigid expectations and trusting that everything is happening for a reason can ease the struggle. The ego does not dissolve overnight, but every small step toward surrender makes a difference. When one stops resisting and starts flowing with the transformation, the awakening no longer feels like a crisis. It becomes a sacred unfolding. The fear of change is replaced with trust, and the journey, while still intense, becomes one of deep growth and self-discovery. By choosing to embrace the unknown, twin flames can move through their awakening with greater ease, allowing themselves to fully step into the love and enlightenment that their connection is meant to bring. Every twin flame journey is unique because each soul carries different karmic lessons, past life experiences, and divine missions. No two souls have walked the same path before meeting their twin flame, which is why the awakening experience varies so greatly from one person to another. Some souls have spent many lifetimes preparing for this reunion, clearing obstacles and resolving past karma, while others are still in the process of breaking free from old cycles. This is why some twin flames experience instant joy and connection, while others face intense challenges before they can fully embrace the union. For those who have already resolved much of their karmic baggage in past lifetimes, their twin flame awakening feels like a homecoming, a joyful reunion with their higher self. They are able to embrace the love and connection without heavy burdens weighing them down. Their souls have done much of the inner work required to sustain the energy of such a powerful bond, allowing them to step into this experience with open hearts and a clear understanding of their purpose. They may still face difficulties, but their awakening is more likely to be filled with moments of deep peace, clarity, and spiritual alignment. However, for those who have unfinished soul contracts, unresolved karmic cycles, or deep spiritual lessons to learn, the awakening can be tumultuous. Their twin flame connection acts as a mirror, bringing up everything that has yet to be healed. Old wounds from past lifetimes may resurface, creating emotional pain, confusion, or fear. These souls may encounter difficult situations, separation, emotional triggers, or external challenges that force them to confront their unresolved issues. The process can feel overwhelming, as it often requires them to dismantle long-standing beliefs, release attachments, and face deep-seated fears. While these struggles can be painful, they are never meaningless. Everything that arises in a twin flame journey is meant to serve a higher purpose. The lessons learned in this lifetime are often tied to unfinished business from previous incarnations. The emotions, patterns, or conflicts that emerge are not random. They are opportunities for healing and growth. Each challenge brings the soul closer to wholeness, allowing it to break free from cycles of suffering and step into a higher state of awareness. Understanding that each journey is tailor-made for the soul's evolution can bring comfort. No matter how difficult the awakening may be, it is always leading toward greater wisdom and love. If the path feels overwhelming, it is not a sign of failure, but rather an indication that something powerful is being transformed. Patience and trust are key. In time, as the soul heals and releases what no longer serves it, the journey becomes lighter. The more one surrenders to the process, the more they begin to see the deeper meaning behind every experience. Even though twin flame connections are divinely orchestrated, free will plays a huge role in how the awakening unfolds. The universe may bring twin flames together at the perfect moment, but what happens next depends on the choices each person makes. Some embrace the journey wholeheartedly, while others resist it out of fear, disbelief, or emotional unpreparedness. This is why no two twin flame experiences are the same. Each individual decides, on some level, how they will navigate this path. When someone willingly aligns with their spiritual path and actively seeks growth, their awakening tends to be more harmonious. They work with the divine energy rather than against it, which allows them to experience more joy and enlightenment along the way. They recognize the twin flame connection as an opportunity for transformation and embrace the lessons that come with it. They may not have all the answers, but they trust the process, knowing that each experience is guiding them toward a higher state of being. However, when someone fights against the process, denying their connection, suppressing their emotions, or running from the truth, the awakening becomes painful. Resistance creates suffering. The more one tries to control or ignore what is unfolding, the harder the lessons become. This is why some twin flames experience separation, emotional turmoil, or even complete disconnection from their higher self. When the ego resists change, the journey feels like an uphill battle rather than a natural progression. Another important factor in the twin flame awakening is divine timing. Even if both individuals are willing to embrace the connection, the union will not unfold before the right moment. The soul has its own timeline for growth, and certain lessons must be learned before full alignment can take place. Some twin flames meet when they are ready to come together quickly, while others must go through years of transformation before they can truly reunite. Patience is essential. Divine timing ensures that everything unfolds exactly as it should. No matter how difficult or slow the journey may seem, It is always moving toward the highest good. There is no need to rush or force anything. The universe knows the perfect moment for everything to fall into place. Even when things seem uncertain, trust that every delay, challenge, or separation is happening for a reason. Ultimately, free will and divine timing work together in perfect harmony. While the universe orchestrates the twin flame connection, each person has the power to shape their experience through their choices and level of awareness. By surrendering to the journey, embracing the lessons, and trusting the divine plan, twin flames can navigate their awakening with more grace and understanding. Whether the twin flame awakening feels euphoric or painful, it is always a gift. It is a call to deeper love, transformation, and spiritual growth. Those who experience bliss are not necessarily more lucky, and those who struggle are not being punished. Each experience is perfectly aligned with what the soul needs to evolve. The most important thing to remember is that awakening is not meant to be judged as good or bad. It is simply a process of unfolding, a shift from an old way of being into something new. Some paths feel gentle, while others feel intense, but both lead to the same destination, a higher state of love and awareness. If your awakening feels overwhelming, know that you are not alone. Many who walk this path face moments of deep uncertainty, but these moments do not define the journey. Growth is often uncomfortable, but it always brings wisdom in the end. Trust that whatever you are experiencing now is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Healing takes time, and there is no need to rush the process. Awakening does not follow a straight path, and that is okay. Some days will feel like breakthroughs, while others may bring setbacks. But even in moments of struggle, the soul is still moving forward. Every challenge is an opportunity to release old patterns and step deeper into love. Instead of seeking to control how the awakening unfolds, try to embrace it as it comes. The more you surrender to the journey, the more peace you will find along the way. Let go of comparisons, doubts, and fears about the future. Focus on what is happening within you right now. The more present you become, the more clarity you will receive. Above all, remember that love is at the center of this experience. Whether the path feels blissful or difficult, love is always guiding you. Even when things feel uncertain, trust that the universe is leading you towards something greater. Every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to a deeper understanding of yourself and your twin flame connection. Your awakening is sacred, no matter how it feels in this moment. You are growing, evolving, and aligning with your highest self. Trust the process, have patience with yourself, and know that everything is unfolding exactly as it should.